It's that time. It's that time. Cheap wine and women's basketball. Cheap wine and women's basketball. Cheap wine and women's cheap wine and women's basketball. 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 Ho! All right, it's time to talk about the Missouri Tigers. Mizzou, it's going to be an interesting situation this year because there's one thing that they're going to have to do, and it's win. The athletic director, the fantabulous Desiree Francois Reed. Desiree Francois Reed, she's not playing games with people. She brought in Dennis Gates for the men's basketball program. And she told Robin Pinkston, you got one more year. You got one more damn year. Your butt better win or you got to go. Get in the NCAA tournament or get. You're going to have to win or get gone. Now, I'm not saying that's pressure, but the last few times I've seen Robin Pinkston, she's been looking like this. Like, oh, Desiree Francois Reed, I will win. I will do my very best. I will try, and I won't suck. I won't suck this year. I was a good coach at one time. We went to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. Yeah, they did go to 4 straight NCAA tournaments when they had Sophie Cunningham. They don't have Sophie Cunningham. At least we don't. Well, at least it doesn't seem like they have Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham, but we'll find out this year. Now, how did Robin Pinkston get in this situation? 4 straight years to the tournament with Sophie Cunningham, and then, well, let's see. They were 24-11 the last time they went to the tournament. They end up beating Drake and losing to a good Iowa team. And after that, followed that year up with a 9-22 record. 9-22. Now, they did have 2 promising freshmen come in, Asia Blackwell and Haley Frank. All right, you're going to have growing pains. You lost your star. You got the best 2 freshmen in from the state of Missouri coming. You know, you've got some serious talent coming. They still had Amber Smith, but they had freshman growing pains. They were freshmen. What are you going to do? You're in the SEC. What you going to do? Following year's the COVID year, so that doesn't really count. I'm not going to hold that against any coach. That COVID year was just incredibly crazy. That was one crazy year. Now, after that, they rebounded, They kind of rebounded. And that, I guess that year was the 2021-2022 season. Hey, they finished 18-13. All right? But good news and bad news. That 18-13 team started out 13-2. Then they collapsed, finishing the year, 5-11 finish. And after the year, you had a bunch of things happen. Well, one of the things happened. The season really went up in smoke, if you so to speak, because they had some young ladies who evidently were smoking a little marijuana, and they were being disciplined. And right at the time they really needed to, have them on the court, the coach Pinkston decided, nah, you can't really be on the court because y'all got caught smoking that stuff. Now they should still allow them to come back and play some, but missed key games that kept them out the tournament when they really, really needed them. And consequently, a lot of girls fled the program. Leaving that year of note was, of course, Asia Blackwell goes to Baylor, and she's had injury played career since she's left, but she was a double machine. LaDasia Williams graduated and took herself to LSU as a graduate transfer and won a national championship. Good move on her part, but she could have helped Mizzou, that's for sure. Izzy Hickenbotham was a talented freshman. She basically went back home to Arkansas State, and she's a star at Arkansas State. I mean, that girl, she's little, but she can play. And the other one that left was Kaya Doro, who went to Colorado State, and she's been bounced around. I think she's at Tennessee Tech now, but she's ineligible and she's hurt up. But it's women's basketball. People get hurt and people get in. You got to get your eligibility when you transfer a couple times. All right. So that was that season. Then you come to the 2022-2023 season. Again, they start 14-2. They start out great, but finish 4-12. And let's understand what happens both years. You have a soft non-conference schedule, and then you go play in the SEC. And the SEC is unforgiving. You play the best teams in the country every game. Every game you're playing basically you're almost playing a ranked team or someone who was ranked or someone who's beat somebody ranked on the regular. And they collapsed again. Now, after this collapse, they lost last year. They've lost a lot of players. Sarah Rose Smith, awesome player from Australia. She goes to Colorado. Caitlin Gilbert, solid guard, came from Notre Dame, transfers out, goes to DePaul. Jayla Kelly, from St. Louis girl, underused, but she was basically the only athletic girl with size that they had. She goes to Central Florida now. And Lauren Hanson, the girl who hit the shot to beat South Carolina when South Carolina was ranked number 1, she's flown the coop and gone to Michigan. So, it leaves a big void for the Tigers, and that's why Robin looking like this. That little stress. See them stress lines? I know that's stressful. So she's got to go back and regroup. Now let's look at what she get. All right, so she went and got the freshman coming in this year. Grace Slaughter, supposed to be a top 100 player. She should be supposed to be, hopefully, she's the next Sophie Cunningham because they're going to need her. They had some good freshmen came in last year. What's her name? What's the movie star? She's named like the movie star. Ashton Judd. Looks like Ashley Judd, but Ashton Judd. Great, tough as nails. She's legit. And so is Avery Kroenke. Both of those girls are solid freshmen, had solid freshman seasons, and they should be a thing. But another girl who's coming in from Quincy, Illinois, Abby Schreck, but like I said, she's a freshman. She's going to be a freshman. And then they they got a few graduate transfers. They got a girl coming in from UMass, Angelique Negalakulandi. I know I run that name, but she's coming in along with, let's see, there's another transfer that came in. Her name, what is there another transfer? Oh, yeah, there's another graduate transfer, Abby Felt, who's coming in from Evansville. Now, they had a young lady named Skylar Jones, who was one of the top players in the country, coming in as a freshman, who, with all the upheaval at Mizzou, she decommitted and she goes to Arizona. And that she'd have been a phenomenal freshman coming in, and that was a huge loss for the Tigers. So I think Robin, had to, and she's finding this out late, this over the summer, and she had to make some moves. So she ends up Going the international route, there's a girl named Hilka Feldrape. I don't know if I'm saying that. I'm probably ruining her name. Feldrape from Croatia. No. Feldrape is from 6'3" Street girl from Germany, and it's Lucija Milkovic, who's a 6'6" center from Croatia. Now, how good these girls are, who knows? I don't know. But they better be good, because Miss Pinkston, you're going to be gone if they ain't good. They got to at least be serviceable. And, you know, Robin, I like Robin Pinkston as a coach. I've seen her coach some phenomenal games. I've seen her beat number 1 ranked teams. I've seen her beat Mississippi State, that when they were ranked probably in the top 3 or so, and they beat South Carolina that was ranked number 1. I've seen her coach phenomenal games against, great teams. But I've also seen these teams collapse the last 2 years. So she can obviously get a team up to perform at a high level, but there's something about consistency. Also, on the recruiting. She makes inroads in the recruiting. And then there's, I'm not going to say they're busts, but she's got a trio of sisters, the Linthicum sisters. Now, I don't know how, hopefully she recruited the first 2 because the last one's so good, because there's 3 of them on the team. But the first 2, I ain't seen nothing. I mean, they're big, but they don't play. If you got 3 sisters sitting on the bench, something ain't right. One of them sisters got to be able to play. Otherwise, there's some other folks who should be on that squad. Anybody that you recruit at the SEC level should be good enough to start for you, or should be battling for a starting position. You just shouldn't have 3 sisters on the bench and none of them get no playing time, and none of them can, evidently, none of them can ball. They got to be able to ball. Otherwise, you're just giving away scholarships. I mean, it's nice that, these girls are, love Mizzou and all that. But, hey, they can pay their way to school if they can't ball. They got to ball. You're in the SEC. Nobody sitting on South Carolina bench that can't ball. Nobody. Hey, them girls down in Arkansas that whip you all every year, they can all ball. And they not even making the tournament. They better than y'all. Arkansas has been whipping Missouri like slap, slap, slap. Every year, Arkansas whips Mizzou's butt and then struggles with everybody else. I don't know. And the schedule's not easy. I'm looking at their schedule. So they got the SEC at the end of the year. So that's going to be tough. But they end up, all right, they play. And some of these teams, they might not sound like, look, I know they play Kansas State at some point during in the non-conference, and Aoka Lee, about a 6'6" girl at Kansas State who's been injured a lot, and she's one of the best players in the country. She's going to be a problem, because I don't know if your 6 girl ain't going to be Aoka Lee. I can tell you that right. If she good and she been in Europe and stuff and can play, that's great. But she ain't going to be Aoka Lee, I know. If she is, you going to the tournament. You might save your job. If that girl's Aoka Lee, then you going to the tournament. Illinois, they were an NCAA team. Kent State, they were an NCAA team. Tennessee Tech, NCAA team. Shoot, St. Louis U, y'all going to have to beat St. Louis U. I mean, neither one of y'all have, well, you all do have more size than SLU, but they can play. I mean, they can play. So, hey, Mizzou, shoot, Belmont's going to be tough. Y'all open with Belmont. We're going to act like that's not going to be a tough game. Belmont's going to be tough. So, Mizzou, best of luck to you. Robin, good luck. Hope you can keep your job, because I know that's good money. That's good money. But, girl, hey, you're going to have to be hard on these girls. I know you like to have that family atmosphere. You like them all be close. But you know what? You had that family atmosphere, and you know what those girls did? They flew the coop on you. You had 8 people who left, at least 8 more than 8 actually. I only listed some of the people that played regular. There's other girls that left too. You've got all these people that join your program. Then when times get tough, they flee because they want to win. It's all about win. Hey, winning solves everything. You know, Kim Mulkey's not, not lovey-dovey with those girls at LSU, but they win. You know, shoot, at South Carolina, Dawn Staley, she's not lovey-dovey with them girls. I mean, she loves those girls, but she's not she coaches hard, and she let them know, look, you got the ball, or you gonna sit on that oak. I'm not gonna baby you. You can't baby these girls. I think you might be babying these girls a little much. You gotta let them know, look, this is my expectations, and you can't keep playing folks who make the same mistakes over and over. Thank goodness not Haley Frank, who's the other Haley you had? Haley Troop. Thank God she's graduated. Hell, she was there on the team when Stovey Cunningham was there. I don't know how many years. She must have had 15 years worth of eligibility, 15 years worth. And she was, she would have her moments where she was good, but there was a lot of times she was a liability and just kept her out there. And some of these girls that transfer who had some talent, you just wouldn't play them because you're playing some other, girl, you got to win. Stop, hey. Look, you see them in practice, you know more than me, evidently. But from what I've seen, you can't play favorites with these girls, and you got to give tough love. If they suck, you got to let them know, girl, you suck, and you got to, you either get it on or you're going to get on this oak. And you can't give charity scholarships. You don't have room for it. You don't have room. You need, girl, I'm sure you're making, over $1 million. You can't give away no $1 million on these girls, being friendly. It's time to coach. Mizzou, good luck. I'll be rooting for y'all. Chief Wine Women's Basketball. Peace.